Hello, it's Pigsy doing another video. It's fairly random actually. I've seen, oh, is that there's a little light in the sky, I suppose. And yeah, I kept on passing at some doll that was near a roundabout, so I just chucked it out there. I've had this massive urge to go and get it and rebuild it. It's really weird. I've decided not to. I'm resisting. And I don't know if I just don't like seeing mistreated toys, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, or just the idea of recreating something. I think it's possibly got some attachment of some kind to it, some spiritual attachment. Possibly could be to do with the child. It could be to do with the child's consciousness. See, we kind of forget that we project. So like our creator, we can create things ourselves. Oh, it's the moon. This is a little light, dot of light. What was that? And so with innocent minds like children, and we give them things that are lifelike, that they can project their energy into. And so the child, in essence, has lent some of its spiritual energy to the doll, or to being, and it may have even drawn something else into it. So I like to help it out. It's just I really want. I mean, I like making things, but do I want a load of sort of second-hand dolls I find and start turning into things? I may create something, and I possibly could use some kind of like magic on it. To be honest, if that sounds a bit woo-woo, but you can. With your consciousness, you can summon something up and put it in there, and I often add, like the voodoo doll I made in the past, I added some myself into it as well. So it's a bit more creepier than it really. Well, it's not too creepy. I think actually, it's like the project started with the chap who did a picture and who made him immortal, something grey. I can't remember his name now. And so the idea was it would drain the life out of somebody if they saw it, and then it would keep him immortal. It would keep him immortal, I guess. As long as that picture exists, he's fine. And so, in a similar kind of project, I thought I could immortalise myself by adding myself into things, and I have done. I've added myself to Orgon. I've added myself into the dolls. Got me in it. And it's just got my hair. I've got to put some hair inside it, sort of resin, to sort of, because hair in its essence is your kind of biological crystal that grows out of you. It's a bit like a human nail. It's so much stupid things. Watch these people know how to drive properly. He's right up the arse of the other car. That's probably his fault. He's up his arse. So when the guy goes, "Oh, I've got this turn in here," he stops quickly, and I can't see what's going on in front of him because he's right on top of it. So it creates an illusion of what's really going on. Anyway, so yeah, with the dough I added my, I think I had a nosebleed, I had something with some blood, so I mixed some blood into some paint or some orgon. What did I add to it? I think it might have had ormus and stuff. So it's got lots of different things in it. I've got a painting I used blood actually. I used to kind of outline the drawing of myself, and that sort of hangs on my wall. That's something I've created many years ago now. So I was trying to immortalise some image of myself, but I think men always like to play, not like a god complex, but it's that idea that you could maybe transform yourself through some type of alchemy. So that was part of my project. And there's also influenced by things like Harry Potter. And you got basically being able to sort of fragment your soul. You can do some magical things, put it that way. There's another technique you can use the air inside a doll, or you can put your energy inside it. I've done that before. So these dolls start talking as I start sensing them. So I started creating them so they're kind of a sort of abstract, lesser minion of myself in some way. However, also if I add extra things, I'll start creating a kind of collective consciousness. So I put some organic things, like I used a Norwegian pine. And the reason I used a Norwegian pine was because it's connected to the forest and that energy there. So I might be doing some other work with some stuff. I was going to look at some. I think this is like spiritual influences from myself, like the jinn or whatever's connected to me. I don't know, because things, you can sense things and things happen in your dreams. I come back to a dream actually. I don't know if it was some beings were looking at me, probably thinking, wondering what's happened. He's lost weight. It's fasting. Having a look at that. But yeah, they sensed some stuff to do with sand and different types of magic, and also rejecting other forms of magic. There's, I think there's probably it's been corrupted. The Solomons. I mean, they've got the keys, the book of the keys, but you've also got stuff that's very much Hebrew influence and angel lore and stuff, and Freemasonic, like, and it's also cross-shaped. That's basically what's happening. It's like, bound to the east, to Gabriel, and all these sorts of things, and it works within this sort of cross. Which in the cross can relate to Egypt as well as crosses. And some other thing. Oh, what do you like, mate? I'm going to drive like a balloony. I'm doing 30 miles an hour. Just doesn't like my videos. So I kind of didn't feel like you should do that. But I also felt like I could summon other forms of angels, and that there was points off the compass that nobody touches that I can tap into. And also there's also the there's also this sort of like what people would consider maybe possibly demonic, darker side of it, but within the angelic law there's also I call them Dalelic, or Darklings, or something like that. It's like shadow beings. They're kind of the opposite of angels. They're not beings of light. They're beings of the void, basically. But they seem to serve each other. There's a relationship between light and dark, and there's a balance. I think they know if they fall out of balance that they'll corrupt themselves, and they'll corrupt their sort of nature, I guess. They may play a role in influencing man rather than directly change it. But in terms of the person, I mean, we've got powers that we don't really fully understand ourselves. I think because we were given, well, that would make sense. You could drive straight to a bloody living sign, you nut bag. I just crashed into a location, I hope not. So, yeah, we've got this. We've kind of got safeguards in, but I think we'll be more powerful. I think it's because we may react to things, and if you could, like the way Lucy, if you've seen that film Lucy, the way she alters the very fabric of the reality. You don't want that kind of happening, because you might overreact to it. And that won't be much fun. So yeah, I might make some magical things in the future. I need to do some research first and put some stuff together. It's just because I've been working flat out. I've got some other creepy stuff to do as well. And it's finding that balance. It's also difficult. The more deeper you go down that rabbit hole, finding people that understand it, and don't want to sort of react to it because they don't understand it. It's like in the past. I mean, I stopped myself. I had a temptation. I saw this badger that was well, it was a roadkill basically. It must have hit a car. Maybe it died of natural causes. I didn't want to check that bit out, but I was tempted to use that and maybe do an autopsy on it and stuff. It's just I was intrigued by it actually, and I wanted to maybe possibly recreate it, but it just probably sounded a bit too creepy for me. I mean, why would I want to do that? Something's influencing my brain. Maybe I'm possessed. There was some other things going on. Yeah, I mean, there's some possible things. Like I believe, which is probably going to be far out, is that that there might be a sort of a hybrid that exists out there of me, and I sometimes sense this thing. I sometimes call it Diana. And it's like a child consciousness, but it's not a child human. And she's done. Oh, what's going on? The drivers are so mad. And yeah, they're just things that come in my dreams and meditation. So yeah, there's something else out there. So maybe there's an influence out there. And I had a dream recently, and there was basically, you know, when something's not right with your dream, and all these characters had the same face. There's like 5 of them had the same face, and the reason is because they projected as one image. And when I've taken, because not normally, you know, like if say you speak to a group of people, you may only take the information of looking at the first person. And the other people you take sort of might be seeing them, but they're not really taking much about because they're not interacting with you. So the only classic would be something that's a bit like a cloned being anyway, that has or maybe has a collective consciousness. So it's overlooked the fact that I don't have I've got a type of collective consciousness, but it's a bit more in the quantum realm. It's more of an interdimensional. Multi-dimensional type of consciousness. So I exist here, but I also exist elsewhere. While these beings exist elsewhere, but in the same current dimension, some of them do. I don't know if they're not sort of fragmented in that way. They can't collectively come back as one entity. They are the same entity, just split up over different bodies. So a bit like the way ants are, you know, that kind of thing. And that's to sort of preserve their consciousness. That's why it's like that. So yeah, I just noticed these things, and there was like 5 people standing around me in my dream, and they all had the same faces. I was just about drifting off, and then I looked into the darkness, and I could sort of make out it's like shapes or something there. I felt like some things were around me. They're not going to cause me any trouble. So the first thing, you don't want to fear these things. They get awful and crap like that. Actually, men do as well. If someone's scared of you, it kind of empowers you, doesn't it? I don't know, if you're a bit like a predator, or you're trying to scare someone, or you're playing a part of a game, it is that kind of sense of sort of power you've got over them. So they can get off on that. You don't really want to do that. Yeah, they're just looking at me. I think they were looking to see if it was the same person. In that kind of weird way, they're sort of looking at my features. It didn't really freak me out, it just seemed weird, that's all. I mean, I have woke up and I've had a feeling like dread. And a little voice in my head said something like it's a demon or something, you know, be careful. There's something that's turned up, having a sniff around. That's has negative. I think it has negative intentions if you get in its way. It doesn't really care. So it's not. Its purpose isn't to kiss human asses. It's was doing something. I don't know what it's doing. Something attracted it in to look at, and it just had this kind of feeling like you being watched and uncomfortable. And then it kind of went, I think. I just relaxed and ignored it, and it went. Also, if it doesn't think it's being perceived in any particular way, if you have some kind of interest in it, it's like locking on. It's like there's a lot of background noise, and if your mind focuses, it's like a louder voice in a crowd, and so it's listening back and it thinks, oh, what's that? And it's drawn into it. It's just creepy. I don't know what it was though. So I haven't had too much kind of unusual interactions. I mean, I sense things about plants. That's something I've got to do. I've got Datura heads on it. They're all bloody popping up. I've got these pods inside my flat, and they've also bursting open, some of them. So I need to chop them off and harvest them, get the seeds out, and then maybe just spread them around a bit. You know, if I can get loads of seeds, I might just go around to areas of Reading and just throw a few out there, get them growing into some funny, unusual locations. It's just biodiversity. That's what I'm doing. I'm just doing what nature wants me to do, and it will only allow things to thrive if they should exist. That's why things that don't, they end up being sterile and stuff, or they become kind of extensions of nature's interests. So they may function for a while, but then there might be a point where it just kind of the plug's pulled on them. I don't know. From subspecies, they may have a purpose. That's why they exist for some longer period of time. Who knows? No, it's just be to sign off, and I will speak to you again sometime. Take care. Bye.